Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you and Ranking Member Smith for holding this hearing today. Thanks to the witnesses for presenting themselves to us to answer questions. At the outset, let me say that I'm proud of the work that our service members do every day to keep our nation safe, and I have profound respect for those who voluntarily put on the uniform to serve and protect our country. The Trump administration's reckless military actions are driving up costs for everyday Americans. This war, as you know, is not supported by a significant majority of the people in this country. The administration has increased military operations around the globe, including strikes in 8 countries, and the war in Iran is costing taxpayers billions of dollars. Estimates are by the time it's over, it could cost $1 trillion to the American people, a lot of that off budget. It's estimated that the first 6 days of the war cost around $12 billion alone, and we are now hitting 60 days of war fighting without a plan to exit this conflict. The administration has failed to transparently tell the Congress or the American people what the costs of the war are and why we are at war, and expects Americans to keep footing the bill. The comptroller has, and thank you for coming, sir, given us an incomplete number, and I understand we're in the midst of war and there's you do have some challenges in that regard. But Congress, I think, my colleagues would have appreciated a more thoroughgoing cost estimate so that we may properly conduct oversight as is our duty. I would agree with my colleague, Ms. Goodlander, about the Department sharing the full breakdown of the cost of this war and understanding where every dollar is going. That number does not likely reflect the full costs of war, as you know. There are many estimates out there that say that this war will cost much more than you and the administration are putting before the American people. If you look at our past conflicts, when we went to war in World War I, and this has been mentioned, Wilson went to Congress and called for the American people to help pay for the war. Franklin Roosevelt went to Congress, asked for a declaration of war, and the Americans pitched in to pay for this war. Conflicts after that, sadly, too many of them are off budget and are leaving Americans with trillions of dollars in debt. Average Americans are suffering the consequences of this war in Iran, including increased fuel prices in my home state of New Jersey, where gas is now on average $4.20 a gallon. Diesel is almost $6 per gallon. In addition to increased fuel prices, everything costs more: groceries, housing costs, and the people have to pay for it, have not asked for this war, and I think are a little bit bewildered as to why we're in this war. I'm not disputing the fact that the Iranian regime is a malignant, dangerous regime that has killed its own people and indeed has killed Americans over the decades. I think where we disagree is what's the best way to get at Iran. Do we negotiate with them and control their access to nuclear weapons in a multilateral way that included even Russia in the deal and the agreement that President Obama brought forward, or do we go and try to and engage in a costly war in order to get at those nuclear weapons? I think that's where the principal conflict lies. How do we achieve the same goals? Costly war or through negotiation? And we've seen that apparently there wasn't a plan to deal with the action that Iran had to take, that is to close the Strait of Hormuz, because it's the only thing you can do when you are the weaker country in an asymmetric conflict. Of course they were going to do that, and I wonder whether or not the President was apprised of this before he took the actions that he has taken. So let me just ask this question. And before this, make this comment too. This war is just 60 days so far. And this thought that Americans wish to bear the consequences of increased fuel prices, I don't think is borne out by the fact that, those costs impact people on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis. Mortgages come and have to be paid. Groceries have to be bought on a weekly basis. And those gas prices are squeezing the American public. So can you tell us whether or not there was planning to deal with in advance, to deal with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz, given the likely impact on world fuel prices.
That will have
we're
to
now
be for the
seeing.
record because, gentlemen's time has expired.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.